was Mumbai who won the toss and decided to bat first. And at the halfway mark, that management, that captain is going to be really happy. The team's going to be really happy as Mumbai have got to 193. And this is Abu Dhabi. Remember, this is Abu Dhabi. This is not somewhere where it's not Sharjah. 200 is not par for the course here for sure. They've got to 193. And the unlikely superstar has been Surya Kumar Yadav, the one that we talk about being sort of the anchor, so to speak, with the big hitters around him, doing the big hitting himself today, and saying, well, I'm no less myself. We've got Michael Vaughan and Shaun Pollock here with me. You're watching My 11th Circle presents Cricbuzz Live. And first up, I'd like to thank them for their heartiest congratulations that they're just going to offer me in 1 second for getting my prediction right on the My 11th Circle badge of honor. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you. I'm nothing without you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I've won it. I guess 191. We were bunched in pretty tight with Michael Vaughan at 182, Shaun Pollock at I think 187, and me at 191. Fingers crossed, I got it right. Excellent. Well, let's talk about the superstar of today, Polly. We were speaking about Surya Kumar Yadav. We were talking about how his strike rate after the power play is not that impressive. Boy, he answered that. He put that right today, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, and I think it's the way he has to play. It's in many ways we were discussing what sort of game plan do you express to him as a management, what plans do you come up with, and he was all about deflecting. He's, as we mentioned at the top of the show, not a big hitter. He's not going to hit the big sixes. I think his first six came after his scores in about 56, and there was also a pickup behind square on the leg side, and he played to his strengths, and that's what he has to do. And the others managed to bat around him. I must admit, I think Rajasthan helped out a lot with some of their planning. As you mentioned, I mean, he's a deflector, and the countless amount of runs he got past third man and short 45, and with both those people being inside the circle, when that's his strength to play those kind of shots, I don't think they read that pretty well. But all credit to him. He hung in there. It was important that he stuck around, and he did anchor that innings with a few people playing some shots around him. But in general, he was not only the anchor, was the aggressor at times.
Warney, the classical batsman, playing in the V. He got 1 run out of his 79 in the V. T20 cricket.
It was a special innings. It was pure. It was just playing cricket the way that I like to see it play, with a brain, just manoeuvring the ball, using the pace on the deliveries. You look at Rajasthan and the amount of thinking that went into who bowled when. Jofra Archer not starting the innings against Rohit Sharma and Quinton de Kock. Even for 1 over, surely Jofra has to bowl that first. He gets used in the third, and then he didn't get used till the back end because they wanted to save him to Kieran Pollard. Kieran Pollard didn't even get in. So the amount of thinking that went into Rajasthan's bowling, their actual thinking didn't work for the individual players. So Surya Kumar Yadav is a deflector. And as Polly said, you have to get fielders behind you. You have to say to him, go on then, try and strike it down the ground. We know you're strong deflecting the ball. And if you don't get it to start with and you see him deflecting, then you have to be smart enough out in the field to react to the situation. It's a good pitch. It's a fresh wicket with a little bit of pace in it. I didn't think Steve Smith reacted to the way that Surya Kumar Yadav was playing on that surface. And it looks a very, very good total. I mean, you know, as I said, it's a good pitch and you can strike the ball. There was some good cover drives hitting over the top of extra cover off the spinner. You know, it's a decent pitch when you can play those kind of shots. But Rajasthan, apart from that big chase in Sharjah, over the last 2 games in particular, have struggled with the bat. So this is going to be an almighty effort to get to this total.
Yeah, towards the end. And Mumbai is so good with milking the last few overs. They did that again today. Even though Rajasthan had saved Tom Curran and Jofra Archer for that, some of the shots that they played at that point in time, look at that. You've gone for the back 6. You've given away 78 runs. And this is at a time when the team was already 3 wickets down going into it, Paulie. You had sort of fresh legs at the crease. You also had Krunal Pandya, who strangely got stuck today when he went in because, you know, that's life. It's a great leveler. And suddenly he's just playing dot after dot. And at that point in time, Rajasthan would have looked at the score and said, well, we can pull these guys to 170, 175.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think Mumbai were at their best at all. I think some of the decision-making, Ishan Kishan comes in and slogs the first ball. Krunal Pandya got stuck for a long period of time. And even at the back end, it wasn't like Hardik did a massive amount of damage. And you just think if Rajasthan had been a little bit cleverer and smarter on their feet, They could have definitely restricted. Even Joffre's, some of his options, I don't know about that slow ball. I mean, it's brilliant when the guy's coming hard at you. But in many ways, at some stages, they're just looking to knock him for one. And then they see the slow ball and their eyes light up and listen, we can actually go after it. Whereas if he fired it through, I mean, that first ball, I think he bowled to Krunal Pandya. He comes back into the attack and it's a slow ball. Krunal just smacks it straight back past him. So, yeah, I just think that Mumbai, I mean, they'll be chuffed. They'll be absolutely chuffed that they've got to that score. But I definitely think it was aided by some average cricket tactics and stuff from the Rajasthan Royals.
So have a look at their bowling figures, and they don't look completely pretty, as you would guess when you've gone at almost a little over 9.5 and over through the entire innings. You've got Rahul Tewatia. He bowled those 2 overs for 13, and obviously when you look at it, you go, all right, surprising. Maybe he could have got another over. Okay, maybe not. But I mean, Shreyas Gopal definitely the standout today, Bonnie. I mean, head and shoulders above.
Yeah, and Mumbai, I'll go with the Pacers. Pattinson, Bolt, Bumrah, but obviously they've got Chahar, they've got Pandya, they've got some quality with the slow department as well. And Mumbai are a smart cricket team. They've won it so many times. The captain's a smart cookie when it comes to T20 cricket. They'll make it difficult for Rajasthan. Rajasthan have got that Butler factor. They've got Smith, obviously, that can play a controlled knock. They're going to need them. They're going to need one of those two, if not both, to play special innings. And I just worry about Rajasthan. I think sometimes you can overthink the game. I know there's a lot of matchups and there's different combinations, but you look at a lot of the decisions that Rajasthan are making, whether it's on the field, off the field, team selection, it just looks to me like they're trying a little bit too hard. Joffre's bowling all these slow balls, knucker balls. I've not seen many players on a pitch like we've seen tonight where he's just bouncing, nicely, hit his bounce, his shoulder high ball consistently. And then that Yorker, that fast Yorker, when you bowl at 150, it may sound old school, but I don't think it is. I've not seen anyone really take Jofra Archer down when he's bowled really quickly. I've seen him hit when he's tried to be too smart, too funky, try too many things. And I thought his last couple of overs in particular, he just got a little bit too funky with the game. And that for me is Rajasthan. I just think they're getting a little bit too smart for the game. It's just a T20, 120 balls. Can you simplify it? Yeah, match up if you possibly can at times, but I just think they're overthinking the game.
Yeah, and also want to talk about the newcomer. Polly, Warnie and me spoke about him at the halfway mark in the comm box, but want to get your word on Tyagi. He said Ben Stokes says he has a run-up like Brett Lee and delivers like Ishant Sharma. Polly, your thoughts? Oh, wait, we have one more. Who do we have? Oh, we have Mitch McClenaghan, Tom Curran to start, Brett Lee, middle, Alzari Joseph delivery. Well, that's a cocktail.
Yeah, so some good names that they're throwing in there. So if he can be half as good, I think from an Angles perspective, though, he does need to learn to get close and tight on the stumps. We just saw how much he freed up the offside for the right-handers. Surya Kumar stayed leg side and cut it through. But he's got that potential. That little flick of the wrist is just something, and the timing of it is that you can't teach. And he's also got a really good bumper. I think he bangs it in and it gets through a little bit quicker than people expect. So he's got a lot of raw ingredients to work with. I do think long-term, though, just to help him in all the different formats, he's going to have to try and work his way just closer to those stumps.
I think Jeff Dupany on commentary got it closest. Chris Martin from New Zealand.
Yeah.
The action at the start of the run-up was very similar to Chris. I hope he can bat better than Chris Martin.
I really doubt if he's. Oh, you never know. Maybe we get to see today. You don't know. Let's have a look at the Rajasthan batting lineup and get you gentlemen in on. Will they send Yashasvi Jaiswal as an opener with Butler, with Smith holding back to 3 or maybe even 4? Samson comes to 3. What would you like to see here, gentlemen?
Yeah, they might do. I think there's just a lot of pressure though on those big 3. Your Butler, your Smith, and your Samson. I mean, when you look further down the order, yes, you can get a little few cameos. Tewatia might have played the innings of his life already. I don't know if we can see much from him. But if you don't get off to a good start, if there's not one of those 3 at the back end, I see it going to be very difficult to chase down 190 odd.
Yeah, I just look at something like Trent Boult against Jos Buttler. There's one angle that just gives Jos a little bit of a problem. It's that left arm angle, just swinging it back in to his pads through the gates. He sometimes just goes a little bit ahead of the ball early in his innings. I think Bolt's going to be crucial, and they'll certainly try and swing the first couple of overs. They generally always try and do that.
Paulie, you're not going to get any of this cute stuff, right? From Mumbai, they have a plan. They bowl to the plan. The field is right. You're not going to get any of the cute stuff that you got from Rajasthan.
Yeah, you won't. And the funny thing is, as much as you can come up with simplicity, as Vaughan said, is to give roles in the team. And when you know what you're going to do, when you know you're probably going to get the first over or the third over, you sort of go in your mind, you mull it over, and you come up with the right game plan. They maybe go to a spinner every once in a while in the first few overs, particularly against the international batsmen who come from overseas. They like to do that for a change-up. But besides that, they stick with their strengths, and they give each of those good bowlers an opportunity to back themselves and to have an impact up front. So I think it'll be more of the same from them. They've got good death bowling. They've got good bowlers in the middle. So they don't have to mix and match too much. Every once in a while, you can throw something different in.
And so much variation. When you look at it, you got the left arm quick, you got the right arm quick, you've got Bumrah, who's just in a league of his own. Then you've got Chahar, the leg spinner, Krunal Pandya. I don't even know what he bowls anymore, right? I mean, is he bowling quick? Is he bowling Yorkers? Is he spinning it? What's he doing? And then you have Pollard, who's just so deceptive. You see a mountain running at you, delivering at 125, just confuses you, I guess. But Paulie, that's a really, you couldn't cast it better if you asked for variety in your bowling attack.
Yeah, they've got a lot of balance and they've got a lot of skill, and you've actually got to also look at the fact that a lot of the selection that was made was actually made for the Wankhede Stadium.
Yeah.
So someone like Trent Bolt would even be more effective. So would Pattinson, so would Bumrah on that surface, which just bounces a bit more than most of the tracks in India. So that would have been the thinking. And then the cover, you want Hardik Pandya to be fit, you want Pollard to be contributing, and you got 6 or 7 options that you can turn to. And that's so effective because you might just get on a slow wicket where in Calcutta, like Bhatia used to do, Pollard can all of a sudden do that kind of job. So there is really good balance. And they were picked for their surface back home, but they're doing a brilliant job here. And when you've got 3 guys, I think in the top 10 of the wicket takers so far in the tournament, that means the unit's doing well.
I think you mentioned Rajat Bhatia, and it was Joy Bhattacharya, I think, who told us that Gautam and Rajat Bhatia are very good friends from Delhi cricket, and said that Gautam Gambhir always wanted Rajat Bhatia in his team because he's the guy he would take out to actually see the pitch first up. He said because he's such a journeyman with domestic cricket that he knew every pitch in India like the back of his hand. So he'd take him to have the first look. So there's some really below the radar kind of characters you don't even know about, but those are the interesting stories that you get. Gentlemen, going into this, where do you think the needle is? Advantage, RR, 50-50, 100-0, 80-20. This way,
Mumbai.
You're going all Mumbai? All in. All in. Michael Vaughan, like James Bond, all in.
Have you got 180 degrees there, Vaughan?
Mumbai's this side, Rajasthan this side.
Flat. Okay, yeah.
Are you at 90? Are you at 90, Vaughan? What are you at? Are you 90 or 100?
I'm not 90 now. I'm about 86.
86. Okay.
Yeah, we called it at the start of the show. I don't think Mumbai did themselves a lot of favors in that batting, but they've ended up through different means of getting a really good score, and I can't see them not being able to defend that.
Well, okay, that's all we have time for now. We're going to sign off on My 11th Circle Presents Cricbuzz Live. That was Michael Vaughan and Shaun Pollock with me, Gaurav Kapur. We're going to see you at the end of the 10th over to take stock of how the chase is going on Cricbuzz Combox. Thanks for watching.